Hey everybody, clearing. Okay, I've started seeing a few comments that are talking about the Divine Feminines needing a little bit more of a support at this time. So here we go. Let's do a support reading for the Divine Feminine Collective. First thing that I'm going to ask is, what would the Divine like the Divine Feminines to know about the journey right now? What is the focus? So we got two that flew in different directions. Queen of Swords and Page of Wands. Wow. Okay, so your keen intellect, Divine Feminine, you are savvy. You've been there, done that. You've had a lot of incredible experiences where you've used your mind to discern things. You've seen the inner workings. You're very, very good at precision thinking. Seeing certain patterns, picking up on energy, calling a spade, being critical, being precise, you know, all of that. It's got its place, but it's a head over heart motion. The Divine is asking you, and you know, to be honest, it can be a little bit egoic because it is so... Out of all of the queens, it can be the most elitist, I feel. Really, yeah, actually. And so it can come across as too isolated, too know-it-all, too in your head, too high of a standard for legality's sake or out of principle, instead of really dropping into the bigger picture, the lushness of more than meets the eye. And then here's the page. So the Divine is saying, yes, you are savvy. Yes, you are profound. Yes, you see things in ways that I, the Divine, have gifted you with the ability to see things in those ways. But it's time to come into the humility and the seeking. The Page of Wands is the freedom to not be burdened by this, to not allow this to be a crutch, and to have this humble, open surprise element come in. Presence. The Page of Wands is one of the cards that I feel exemplifies presence, freedom, unburdened, untethered, trusting, open, aware, in the moment, not held back by the past, not at the mercy of doom for the future. The Page of Wands is a very adventurous, naive in some ways, but expectation-free kind of energy. So the Divine is asking you to put down all of these, I heard evil ways of the mind, and come into this remembrance that this is the spiritual journey and it is of the Divine power, not your own. Okay, beautiful. So I'll leave that part there. Now, what are the Divine Feminines? Let's get a different deck. What are the Divine Feminines most challenged by on the journey? Let's see if it coordinates or not with what the Divine message was at this time. So what are the Divine Feminine, what is the Divine Feminine Collective most challenged with on the journey at this time? What can we see? Thank you, Divine Creator. Oh, that's so funny when that happens. I was just asked mid-shuffle to switch decks. Gotta obey that divine guidance. So what is it? Divine Feminine Collective, Divine Creator. What is it we can see regarding what is the most challenging energy on the journey for the Divine Feminines at this time? Well, we're getting higher self, union with higher self. This can be trust. You know, there seems to be a little bit of legalistic thinking that the Divine Feminines have swayed into, and the Divine is asking us to come back into softening and seeking higher understanding, not our own lofty interpretations, but really being present, coming down off of what we think we know, dropping assumptions, and really softening into the trust, into the faith, into the alignment with higher self. Again, stepping out of attachment, out of suffering, and into freedom, into trust, into faith, into love, into alignment with higher self. So let's see. What can the divine feminines do at this time to come more surely into that higher self alignment? Thank you, Divine Creator, for showing instruction on how the feminines can align with their higher self more at this time. Let's do emotional, mental, and physical. So on the emotional level, what is it we can see for how the divine feminines can further align emotionally with higher self? Seven of Swords and the Artist in the reverse. So I'm just hearing, make it your secret strategy to always channel divine wisdom. Emotionally, feminines, set this as your goal, your unspoken mission statement to be a channel of divine wisdom. Live in that alignment, set it as your goal. This is not boastful. Sometimes the Seven of Swords doesn't need to be shady energy. It can just be a strategy, a secret thing, and not boastful, not for show. A more intimate motion. So allow this divine channeling. This is the Artist card. It's unique to this deck, and it is the channeling card. It's being an instrument of the divine. So allow that flow to happen, divine feminines, emotionally. Allow that secret motivation to fill you with the proper assessment of your reality. If it feels good, believe that. If it doesn't feel good, throw that story out. Okay, consciously, what can the divine feminine collective do to further align with higher self? Oh, we're getting quite a few here. I just want to finish going through the deck. Yeah, one more, I knew it. Okay, so the first card that came out for what the divine feminine collective can do to consciously align with higher self: see through karmic patterns. Really pray to be shown the inner workings of karmic patterns so that you can take responsibility for what you're bringing to the table, so you disengage from those. So you bring the divine in and ask for healing of these situations. Ask to be shown the root of them. Ask to be shown how you're contributing to them. Take accountability. Make the change. Desire true, authentic victory in these situations. Don't buy into frustration and needing to be right, needing to prove, needing to overcompensate in any way. Divine feminines, put that down and just desire progress, desire win-win. The next thing that the divine feminine collective can do to tune into higher self is pay attention to signs and synchronicities. Pay attention to discerning the frequencies under the surface. What is the intention? What are you picking up on? And again, if you want to be accurate, what feels right to believe? What storyline, what higher interpretation feels like the truth that sets you free, the simple truth that sets you free? If it's complicated, if it's crazy making, confused, feels really bad, is in suffering, low vibe emotions, it's probably a lie. That an assumption that doesn't feel good. So really pay attention to the highest and best interpretation. What else do we see? Oh, Four of Wands, union. So believe in union. I mean, this is a twin flame reading. So this flat out suggests that union is alignment with higher self. So it's synonymous. Bring it in. As within, so without. Don't stop believing in that, Divine Feminines. Okay, Knight of Swords, King of Pentacles. So this is communication in the physical. This is commitment. This is a given. This is like written in stone energy that's not certain. So again, don't make assumptions. Don't place false hope. No wishful thinking. If something isn't coming in with your divine masculine, don't put a storyline to it. Simply say, feminines, it's not time, and let that go. Let it go. If it's not showing up in your reality right now, it's just not time. Let that be the only energy that you need to concern yourself with. And then the Two of Wands here. So step out of your comfort zone. Stretch your interpretations. This is your conscious mind, remember. So dare to look at things in a more ascended version. You cannot outlove God. You cannot outdo God. So open. Don't hold back. Don't be fearful that the truth of something is too outlandish. If it's loving, it's probably right, because there is love in everything. So that doesn't mean be naive and not practical. If there's something low vibe going on around you, the truth in that scenario would be to remove yourself from it and to maintain your inner balance and therefore healthy boundaries, and don't subject yourself to things. But in these cases, in this instance, this is about taking control, taking each thought captive, and being practical, being very, very grounded with what you allow yourself to think and believe. So believe in the highest, believe in the loving solution, step out of your comfort zone, become more love, see solutions, see patterns, desire to work past them. But if something's not showing up in your reality, chalk it up to it not being time, and bring your energy back into the good feeling things that you do have within your capacity to navigate at this time. Okay, for physical realm, for the Divine Feminine Collective, what is it we can see that will allow the Divine Feminines to come into increased union with their higher self in the physical realm? What is it we can see for the feminines in the physical realm? Wow, cool. So this is such nice collaboration energy. This is work energy. The Knight of Pentacles is the knight that builds the foundation in the physical, and the Three of Coins is the 3D, but it's the teamwork card. So it's in the reverse, which to me means the undercurrent that runs beneath reality, inside of reality, the energetic exchange or the potentials. So this is saying, Divine Feminine, without haste, invest in laying the foundation sight unseen. If you're not in union in the 3D with your masculine yet, keep laying the foundation as divinely guided, and trust that things come into alignment in time, that all of the skills, the efforts, the beautifully spirit-led choices that you're making will translate to alignment when it's time, in divine timing. So this isn't manipulation, this isn't manifestation, and this is not doing things with wishful thinking. This is when you are spirit guided, aligned, and activating in your own right. Trust that what you do for self in the highest, the things that your higher self connection shows are the most beneficial for you at any given step of the way, that's what you're meant to do. And trust that those very things are the things that will align you in the physical eventually. It is your eventual destiny to come into alignment with your masculine. Your missions are in alignment with each other, and that is part of the journey. So you are predestined for those things. Your karmic cleanup is in part your mission, and as you're going towards that particular set of karmic situation cleanups, you are getting through to other stages of mission together, but it's all working together under the surface, and the foundation is being laid regardless of what it looks like in the 3D. Okay, so thank you, Divine Feminines, for watching that one. Some beautiful stuff coming through, but let's see also what the Divine Feminines are up to in the collective, what the Divine Feminines are thinking, feeling, wishing, doing, challenged by, etc. What is the solution for the feminines challenge, and where is the connection going in the near future? Thank you, Divine Creator, for showing us the inner workings of the Divine Feminine journey at this time. The nasty is the Starseed Oracle, so we're getting into some nice energetics today. What are the feminines thinking about the connection, feeling for their divine masculine? What are the feminines wishing for the connection? What actions are being taken? What is the challenge? What is the solution? Where is the connection going? Okay, what are the feminines thinking about the connection? Oh, yeah, Temple of Eventual Destinies. I've even said that out loud in this reading once, if not twice. So, feminines, you are in the transition. We are going from the old lives to the new. So much karmic cleanup, so much purging, so much healing, so much growing, so much transmutation. Everyone on the planet is doing this, but the twins are doing it in the name of love, relationships, and seeing that inner working of those dynamics. So keep going, feminines. So masculines watching, your divine feminine is truly beginning to wave the victory flag in karmic situation cleanup. There is a victory here. And Temple of Eventual Destinies, benevolence, spiritual progression, and enlightenment. So the feminines are really seeing this as the journey, as the process of enlightenment, knowing that this connection is an eventual destiny, but right now it's in transit. It's on its way, and it's part of the benevolent process. The timing, the ups and downs, the whole raw beauty of it really is part of the qualification for the eventual destiny, and the spiritual progression is the blessing in motion, blessing in action along the way. So the feminines are really starting to feel supported by the journey, not at odds with the journey, and that is true victory, isn't it? It's definitely something to be grateful for. Okay, what are the feminines feeling on the heart space for the masculines? Ace of Pentacles and Auric cleansing, replenishment, renewal, restoration. The feminines are starting to get their mojo back. They know it's just a matter of time before they step into being able to offer this brand new version of themselves, this the new improved, with this total revamped energetic standard. You know, again, I'm feeling with this karmic cleanup, the progression, the shedding the old lives, the transformation. In many decks, this death card is represented with a butterfly for the ascended version that emerges. And so in this combination, this Ace of Pentacles masculines is your divine feminine becoming ready to offer her authentic self, their authentic self, into the connection. Renewed, replenished, refreshed, energized, you know, perky, spunky, hyper, to show the love, not overshow the love, not overshare, but meet you there and actually enjoy. There have been so many stages of the journey, and this is a rejuvenation where the feminines are tapping back into the focus, the energy towards the connection. Whereas for the last little while, there has been a calming down, a taking a step back, a healing, a deep meditative hermit mode almost for the feminine collective. And so here we see this becoming, the energy rising again. Energy levels being restored, karmic damage being healed. Yeah, beautiful. And literal aura replenishment. So when we engage in low vibrational things, when we are traumatized, when we have spiritual warfare, so many things, it erodes the aura, it dims the light, it basically riddles the aura with Swiss cheese like holes, and that has to be sealed through healing and prayer and restoration. So the feminines are really coming through that. I'm hearing in the name of love again. What are the feminines wishing for the connection at this time? Chakra Kabbalah, spiritual path, life lessons, and karma. So the feminines are wishing to come back from the karmic cleanup and return masculines. So, you know, we often hear that the masculines have walked away, have blocked, have ghosted, but this is showing the feminine's version of that, their own preservation, their own taking a step back, their own time to heal, their own self-loving motion that really honors the life path, spiritual lessons, and the karmic completions. So masculines, the feminines are wanting to come back in, energized and focused on the love here. You know, we do hear so many masculine readings, but the feminines are just as apt to take a step back, and sometimes it does look like ghosting too. When we're doing feminine readings or we're talking about the feminine energy, oftentimes it's called setting healthy boundaries, but to the masculines it might very well look a lot like what the feminines sometimes perceive as ghosting, when there's a disconnect in the connections. So I guess that message is coming through. As a side note, feminines, be very conscious of how your actions might be interpreted by your masculine, because there are so many parallels that aren't often talked about and seen that way. Yeah, okay, so what actions are the feminines taking? Temple of Celestial Revelations, Angelic Assistance, Truth, Salvation, and Mastery, and the Three of Wands. Wow, so the feminines are actually not manifesting right now on their own. They're calling in angels, they're calling in higher understanding, they're calling in assistance from the divine, and they're being asked, or they're asking to be shown examples of very conscious manifestations. They're asking the divine to show them what path to take. This is beautiful because so many are turning to this prayer because their masculines haven't been showing up, and that is really indicative of having waited for the masculine, and now because enough time has passed, the feminines are having a coming to God moment. How beautiful. So had your masculine showed up and become a crutch, you may not be asking the divine to show you truly how to tap into your own power at this time, divine feminines. So don't be worried, divine masculines, through guilt and shame templates, if you have not found the ability to come forward to your feminine fully at this time. There is benefit in that. A little communication doesn't hurt, but the divine feminines are going to make the most of this energy and really look for higher guidance. So divine feminines, definitely ask to be shown the love in all things, and to be shown how this love can support you in manifestations, but also so beautiful that there's a going to a higher source for assistance in manifesting the things that maybe you thought needed to happen with your masculine involved. The masculine reading was really cool though, because it showed that the masculines are actually desiring to include the feminine in their lives, and so some of that collaboration still may be coming in. So this could also be just a chance to crystallize those visions in preparation for actually working together with the masculine, actually creating projects and teaming up in some ways. So, but we all need to bring everything that we can to the table. That is our own accountability. So keep doing that, feminines, regardless. Okay, what is the biggest challenge at this time for the feminines? The great elation, gratitude, reconfiguration and cycles, and karmic cleanup. So the biggest challenge is watching your thoughts, being mindful of what you're manifesting, having gratitude in all things so you can be given more responsibility. The more accountable you are authentically through gratitude, the more you're entrusted with divinely, feminine. So be conscious of your thoughts, where you're telling yourself fear stories, where you're talking about a lower vibrational assessment of your reality. Really seek the highest truth. Have gratitude. Be thankful for everything that you have been given on this journey so that more can come towards you. What is the spirit guidance for the feminines? The King of Cups. Your masculine has so much love for you. Be grateful. Look to the remembrance of the journey and the difficult things that might be sticking points, and ask to be shown the love in it. Ask to be shown how some of the things could have a loving angle to them that are still causing you some doubts. Temple of perfected essence, divinity, honor, responsibility, and humility. So it's time to have another look at some of the ways you've been triggered, feminines, and try and count the blessings in those triggering moments. This again is a chance to heal the aura, to clear the old way of thinking and come into a new ascended version of reality. And that means taking every thought captive and really looking at, through humility, what else could have been going on. Have you put yourself in your masculine's shoes lately? Have you really looked at the assumptions that you've made that might have been critical and questioned whether or not it's your ego and why you could be reacting that way from your side of it instead of just judging? So there is a real perfection coming in as an encouragement here, feminines. You know, at very least, even if you have to pretend that your masculine's love is real, entertain the thought. Literally, I know that sounds like a crazy statement to make, but pretend that you believe your masculine's love is impeccable and pure and real, and see how you could interpret some of the things that have transpired through that lens, as if your masculine's love was perfect and real. See if it changes the storyline or the way that you would interpret it. See if you can find a loophole in the trigger story. Just for an exercise in finding the love. Doesn't mean it's true. Doesn't mean that who you're navigating this with is a divine masculine. But it might be. And if it is your divine masculine, you may have gotten the story wrong. So at least seeing the highest loving version that you possibly can in something gives you a barometer to accurately look at the facts of what transpired. Do the facts align with that most loving version that you can determine? If not, then maybe that's not what played out. But if they still fit, if you can still spin them to fit that very highest interpretation, it still may be the truth, that much love is there. So give it a shot, feminines. Really try and look at things through perfection templates. Not having unrealistic standards per se, but interpreting what is through those lenses, or being curious if what you've witnessed can be interpreted that way. You know, just for curiosity, just as a new kung fu, as a way of seeing reality that way, so that you can design it in that light if reality isn't aligning with that. That's an interesting message there. So where is the connection going in the near future? Page of Cups and movement, opening, unfolding, the spiral of life. Let it unfold naturally. Have beginner's eyes. Stay in the sweetness. Don't be jaded, twins. Be curious, be open, be playful, be receptive. Many blessings, everybody. Bye for now.